Traders, what's going on? It's Relentless here, and welcome back to another episode. So in this one, I'm going to be talking about how much money is the right amount of money to start day trading. How do you know how much money you need to begin with? What is the right amount of money to begin with? And so this video is going to be centered around those newer traders, right? People who are now getting involved in the market and are, getting to this stage where they're now about to enter in with some cash. And so with my experience, I'm going to be giving you guys a bit of a rundown on how I feel you should approach this situation, because unfortunately, right, there is no one simple answer. It's a situation that's going to be unique for all of us, right? And so with that being said, when you are getting involved in the market, the number one thing that you must make sure that you have is risk money, right? You don't want to just have money. You need risk money. Money that if you lose it, it's not going to affect your livelihood in no way or no how. So, but if you do have risk money, right, assuming that you all do, if you're kind of searching up this kind of a video, if you do have risk money, it's going to be a little subjective now to where you are with your finances, right? All of us are in a bit of a different situation, a different place. Some of us a little bit better off than others. And so it all depends on you and where you're at. So assuming that you're starting small, right? The market is very risky, as we all know. It's very high risk. You definitely don't want to be coming in too heavy, right? Even if you can, right? Even if you're in that position to where you can come in heavy, I would recommend not to, right? Come in small, test the waters, because you just never know. You can get that bad loss, your emotions can flare up, and before you know it, you can do something that you will probably regret for a little bit. So come in small. For those of you who are in that range of a few $100s to a few $1,000s, that's not bad to start, right? But you will have to know that you will be below the PDT level, right? The pattern day trader rule, which states that if your account is not above the level of $25,000 here in the United States, you can only take 3 day trades per every 5 business days. And if you go over that limit, they will freeze your account for about 90 days, 90 business days, that is, until you can go again. So keep that in mind. If you're below 25K, you will be trading 3 times a week let's say 3 times per every 5 business days. Keep that in mind. So if you're starting off small, you're looking for a few swing trades, a few day trades here and there, maybe 1 trade a day, right? Because sometimes all it takes is 1 good trade a day. Keep that in mind. So if you're looking to go about it that way, and that's the way how I went about it in the past when I first started on E-Trader, right? On E-Trade Pro a ways back. That's what I did. I started with I think 14,000 in my account, and I actually lost 4K, right? I'm not gonna get too much into that to get off topic, but I started with 14K, taking about 1 trade a day, maybe sometimes all 3 trades in 1 day, and then I have to wait a full week to get back the trades. It was a crazy situation. The pros is that you can get involved in the market at low risk that way, right? You only have a few trades. You're kind of limited to what you can do in terms of buy, right? You're limited, and so it's a good way to build discipline. There's a good couple of pros revolving around that. You're at least getting to be in the market where some other person might not be able to be in the market at all. So you can learn a couple of things. You can get a feel of a few fills and executions and that kind of thing over, let's say, a couple of months, even if you're just doing the 3 day trades per every 5 days. And so there are a bunch of pros right there. The main con is that if you are a very experienced trader and you're profitable, it is going to be limiting towards you, because that 25K, that freedom that you have to be able to play around, is definitely something that you will need. For example, for me, there's days where my first trade is red, and then I still have a good day, and so 1 trade is just not enough when it comes to what the market offers in a hot market. In a hot market, we see setup after setup, trade after trade, stock after stock. Sometimes we'll have a day where we have 4 stocks all above 100%. And so with that being said, you can see why only one trade a day would be really limiting. Or even if you use all 3 trades in one day, what happens for tomorrow, the next day, right, and so forth? You're gonna miss all those opportunities until the next, that next Monday, that next 5 business days until you get back up. So keep that in mind. I think that's the main thing when it comes to coming into the market with your risk money, right? You come into the market with that money. If you lose it all in one day, in your very first day, it's not going to affect your life in any way. Do not come into the market with your hard-earned life savings and retirement money and that kind of a thing if you don't have that backup plan or something else that can get you still going, right? Because trading is highly risky. It's not easy. It never was. It never will be. And so it's very difficult. Only a few traders are profitable, right? At least that's what the saying is in the community, that most beginner traders will lose money. So keep that in mind. One recommendation that I do have is that if you do want to come live, right, and I think going about coming into the market live with a small amount of money first, even if you are going to lose it, is not a bad thing, because sometimes you have to pay to learn, right? Pay to learn and get the feel of everything that you need. So for me, in the 6 months that I traded on E-Trade Pro, or maybe even a little bit longer than that, yeah, about 6 months. 6 months with 3-day trades every 5 business days taught me a lot. I lost $4 grand, like I mentioned. I was getting green trades, right? I was getting green trades, but the winners were few and far apart. And so I'd be green one day and then maybe red the other 2 days, or my green day, I'd be green 2 days and then on that one red day, give back the profits. That kind of a thing was going on. So, but over that time, I learned a lot about the market, executions, feeling out setups, just a lot of different things. It's just being around the market. Even the days where I wasn't trading or didn't have traders available, I would still show up for the first hour, watch on from the sidelines, see what I could learn. Coming into the market from that perspective of a coach on the sidelines, don't underestimate what that can do for you. That alone can teach you a lot about the market. So I would recommend starting with your risk money. Even if you do lose it and you can't afford to come back in again with more money, go to the sim, right? Take what you've learned, take those losers, take those lessons into the simulation. Trade with paper money. So what that means is that you're trading the live market with artificial currency. I did that for a year to hone in on my skills before coming live again, and then that was where I was successful. So keep that in mind. It's one of those things where if you get past the barrier, because the main barrier of not trading with real money in the sim is that you have that disconnect between what's real and what's not, right? Some people will say it's hard for me to go into an environment where I know what I'm doing is artificial. But think about it this way, right? A pilot, this is my favorite example. A pilot will train in a simulation before actually flying a plane. Does that mean that they take that simulation as a joke? No, they treat it as realistic as possible. They do everything as best as possible as they can to have success, because in the end, it'll be their life that's what is going to be in jeopardy, right? Their life, the life of their passengers. And so those pilots will be absolutely serious in those simulations. Think about the market in the same way. What's at risk is your mental state of mind, your money, and everything else, right? Even your life ultimately, because at the end of the day, we've seen it happen before where people lose all their money and they get suicidal. So you have to always remember when you think about it in that way, right? So we all want to manage that risk. Be very careful so we don't have those big blow-up losers, and approach the market in a very methodical way, a very delicate way. And everything takes time, right? Keep that in mind. If you start off with your small account, one day at a time, take it slow, learn, and keep going. And for those of us who are in that better situation when it comes to the finance, right? If you're more financially able and you can start with 25,000, of course you might want to give yourself a cushion above the level. So you might start with, let's say, 28, right? You put yourself up a couple grand over the level. And for those of you who are in that situation, I would recommend to also take it slow. Take it easy. Start off with small size. A learn those strategies, even if it means taking 5 shares on your positions for a few weeks or a few months before you see your metrics, because it's going to take you time to accumulate data, accumulate your metrics to see where you are and who you are as a trader. So for all of us, right, take that time, start off small, go easy on your size, and don't think that the market is an overnight, it's kind of a sensation field, right? It will take you time. For me, it's been 3 years and I've been enjoying the process even now. I still have a lot of ways to go. So keep that in mind. Stay to it, work hard, and keep grinding. Keep track of your metrics, keep track of what you're doing, so you can know where you need to improve on, that kind of thing. But overall, as I'm getting close to my destination here, overall, you know, these are my thoughts. So hopefully the video is informative, right? If you guys did enjoy, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. The chat room will be the first link down below, so check that out. Guys, it's been Relentless Trader, and I am signing out.